Keep quiet, we will free them.
و من گفتم اینا رو خیلی خانوادم رو خیلی دوست دارم ولی حقیقت رو بیشتر من ساکت نمیشم.
And I said to them, I love my family, but I love the truth more. I am not going to be silenced.
و ادامه دادم.
And I continued.
بعد حکومت تمام اموال من حتی ارث پدری من رو از من گرفت و من در حقیقت کاملا من حرف میزنم.
And I said, I don't need any wealth. I'm going to continue talking.
و خوشحالم که توانستم پیام‌آور مردمان باشم.
And I'm so happy that I've been the messenger for my people.
و باید بگویم که در ایران مردم هر روز اعتراض علیه حکومت دارند.
And I would like to say that in Iran, the people are demonstrating against the government every day.
و جنبش‌های کارگری خیلی قوی ما داریم.
We have very strong workers' movements.
جنبش فمینیستی خیلی خوبی داریم.
We have an excellent feminist movement.
جنبش دانشجویی خیلی خوبی داریم.
We have an equally strong student movement.
و این جنبش‌ها خوشبختانه با هم همکاری می‌کنند.
And thank goodness all these movements, they cooperate with one another.
ایران کشور ثروتمندیه.
Iran is a rich country.
بیش از حدود 70% جمعیت ایران زیر 30 سال است.
Over 70% of Iranian population are under the age of 30.
درصد بیکاری در ایران خیلی بالاست.
There's a very high level of unemployment in Iran.
جوانای ما کار میخوان که ندارن.
Our young people, they want, they don't have it.
آزادی میخوان که ندارن.
They seek freedom and they don't have it.
با این همه امکاناتی که ایران داره، ایران آینده خوبی داره و مردم پیروز میشن.
But with all its resources that Iran has, I'm sure that the Iranian people have a good future and they will have victory.
من مطمئنم که به زودی دموکراسی به دست مردم ایران به ایران خواهد آمد.
I am positive that very soon the Iranian people will achieve democracy.
Thank you. How inspirational. We also have a deficit in democracy in this country, and maybe we will be inspired also by your talk. I just wanted to say we also have discriminatory laws in this country, especially in relation to inheritance, marriage, divorce, and guardianship of children. So we also have a struggle, and you are certainly an inspiration in that. May I now invite our dear friend Tawakkul Darman from Yemen. And Tawakkul, how did you, at such a young age, become a Nobel laureate? Of course, Malala is even younger, but still.
I'm not young. I will return to 40 next year. So thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I am so happy here. So happy, so honored to be with my family here in Bangladesh. And before I talk about my story in Yemen, really I want to say big thank you, big salute to all Bangladeshian people, all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What you did and do and will do in the future for the Rohingya people, something amazing. I heard a lot of stories about the courage of the Bengal people, Bangladesh people. I heard a lot of stories about the courage of Bangladesh people on helping the Rohingya people, on supporting them, on sending them hundreds of shuttles every day when all the international community wasn't ready to host all those refugees. How did you make, how did you give them food, water, and how you give them your land to stay? So they are your sisters and brothers, and really, with helping them, you helped yourself, and you help the humanity. So really thank you so much. about my struggle, which is the struggle of people in Arab countries, which is the struggle of people in Arab Spring, and which is the struggle of people in Yemen, especially women and youth. Those people who fed up from the corruption, from the tyranny, from the absence of justice, from the war, from poverty. So those people, special youth and women, decided enough, to say enough to all this. Enough to the dictatorship, enough to the corruption. And when they decided to make it, they decided to use one way, just one way, which is the peaceful struggle. Peaceful struggle was our way, only way to topple the head of the dictatorships. I was before the revolution, Arab Spring, you know Arab Spring? You heard about Arab Spring, and all of you was part of it, because I know that all of you was praying, God help them, God help them. So before the Arab Spring and before Yemeni Spring in 2011, I was a journalist. I started my journey to the public life through the gate of journalism. I started comment and writing a tough article against the dictator, Ali Saleh. And that was something uncommon from people in Yemen and from special women. So that was twice that there is a voice against the dictator and she's a woman. So when I decided to write, I decided to put my fingers on the problem, which is the face and the eyes of the dictator. So this is number one. So I said that all problems in my country caused because of him. The economic crisis, the security crisis, the political crisis, etc., etc. So that was my first step on fighting for freedom and leading my people, my country, to think and struggle for freedom. Second step, which is establishing my organization, which called Women Journalists Without Chains. The dictator, the first announcement of the organization was Women Journalists Without Borders. And we announced it as an international organization. And we had a lot of applications around the world, even from Bangladesh, that they want to be member of our organization. And the tyranny Ali Saleh, the dictator Ali Abdullah Saleh, became very afraid. Oh my God. We couldn't shut her mouth while she's alone. What about if she gathered all the women journalists around the world? So that was really fear from the government, and they closed the organization, and they took the name and gave it to another organization belong to them, to the security, to the national security, and it did. Then I told them, okay, you prevent me and my colleagues to establish Women Journalists Without Borders, and we insist that we need the license from you, and you refuse that. You close our organization, and you create another one with the same name. You think that you will chain us, that you will make us give up. No, there is no way. Okay, I will establish a new organization, which we will call it, this now, instead of Without Borders, to be Without Chains. And at that time, also, we will not take the license from you. We don't need it. We have the constitution right. Our constitution gave us the right to have to organize, to establish organizations without taking a permission. Just let them, the authority, know, just that. So okay, I was wrong because I asked you for a license. Okay, when you decide to give me the license, please, this is my office. So, and it was a big challenge, and I was, and this is a very important, I was strong enough to do that because I was a very strong writer, and I had a lot of cooperation with my international NGOs like Amnesty, like Human Rights, like Watch. So I started to communicate them, look, they are now, and by the way, the first organization that closed in Yemen was Women Journalists Without Borders, the first organization. Then I told them, okay, I will give you a lesson. How dare you close any organization? So I started demonstrations, sit-ins with journalists, with women around me. So no, this is our right to have license for our to don't close our organization. Then I told them no. As I said, I don't care. So Women Journalists Without Chains make a new and a very strong step for helping people, for fighting for freedom and democracy. And special for the freedom of speech, the freedom of expression. Women Journalists Without Borders, Without Chains was the only organization that follow all the cases of attacking journalists. And the government of the dictator Ali Saleh started to attack the journalism, journalism in many ways, as a journalist, as newspapers, and also as websites, and arrested a lot of journalists, closed a lot of newspapers, etc., etc. But after every attack, there is something, the third step, which is a very important step. Every attack they did, we go to the street, make demonstration, and say freedom for expression. And so this is three steps: journalism, then newspaper, then organization, then starting to make some demonstration, some sit-in after every attack against journalism. Then the attacking human rights in general started to be big and big and big. So, okay, we as a people, as human rights activists and as a journalist, we shouldn't just put us just to depend on the human rights of women and also and also of journalists. So my team and I decided to make another step of sacrificing and another step of struggle, which creating a space, a square in front of the cabinet every Tuesday, which is the day of the meeting of the cabinet. Every Tuesday, we made big sittings, calling for freedom of expression from one hand, and the other hand from freedom of every victims that came to our organization. So I wrote an article, and we made this very important appeal that all those people who are victims from anything come to us. We can be your voice. We can be your voice. And then if the government doesn't fulfill or doesn't solve their problem, we go and make the sit-ins in front of the cabinet. So every Tuesday we made sitting in front of the cabinet, and that was a very strange, very, very strange. And it was also a very danger because the government became angry and started to attack us many times. They put me in prison many times. They attacked me. They attacked my friends. And also, this is a very important thing. Look, with all our journey, it was that we should carry the peaceful flag. This is only our tool. We in Yemen, we are an armed society. We have more than 70 million weapons, while we are like 25, now maybe 30 million people. So 2 times double or more. We have a really, really weapons. It's between heavy weapons, between middle and light. So that was, oh, what is she doing? What are you doing? Are you stupid? Do you think that you will be able to convince those people to have the right for those people in just with peace, with screaming, with carrying the microphone? I carried my microphone and moved in front of most of the streets of Sana'a, calling people, Yemeni people, to wake up. Wake up, wake up. And we were singing to them, chanting to them, wake up, wake up. We should make our country safe. We should fight corruption. We should fight tyranny. We should struggle for justice. So that was a very important, and this was the preparation for the revolution. All this happened before the 2011. All this. Every Tuesday, since 2007 to 2011, we were in front of the cabinet calling for freedom and justice and real democracy. And after that, it's improved from every Tuesday to every Tuesday and Saturday, and every Tuesday and Saturday and Thursday, until the Arab Spring came in 2011, until the peaceful revolution in Tunisia started, which is the people went to the street calling for topple the dictator and build a new Tunis, a new country based on democracy and freedom and rule of law. So when the Tunisian revolution started, which is the beginning of the Arab Spring, I started the 4th step of peaceful struggle, which is calling for the peaceful revolution. The dictator of Tunis resigned or escaped from Tunis on 14 January 2011. On 15 January 2000, in the night of 14 January 2011, I published a statement calling Yemeni people for peaceful revolution, and went to in front of the University of Sana'a University, calling the students, okay, wake up, this is your area now, this is your time now to make the change, to create the change, and that is exactly what happened. Sana'a University student went to the street with us, led the peaceful revolution, and we were facing the all kind of violence from the dictator Ali Abdullah Saleh. All the kind of violence. And he was throwing us with the bullets, and we were raising the flowers in front of all his kind of violence. He raised the voice of violence, of killing, and we raised the voice of chanting and dreaming. And only with that way, we could force the dictator Ali Abdullah Saleh to resign on November 2011. After 9 months on sleeping, eating in the tents, we left our houses and sat in the tents. I never returned to my house since to February 2011 until November 2011, until announcing my winning and the Yemeni winning and Arab Spring winning Nobel Peace Prize. So that was the only way, and I'm so proud of that. And we will continue, we as Yemeni, yes, Ali Abdullah Saleh left the power by peaceful way, but now we are facing counter-revolution, an ugly counter-revolution, a coup from one side, a war from another side, but I believe totally, and I know that our destiny is with the victory, our destiny with the reaching to the goals of the peaceful revolution, which is freedom, democracy, justice, and rule of law. Thank you so much.